This is my 1993 Nissan 300ZX. But since I bought it over a year ago, I've done a little bit of work on it. Now this is what my Nissan looks like. But there is so much to do to this car before it's roadworthy again, and we are running out of time. So let's get into it. Welcome to episode 4 of rebuilding our abandoned 300ZX. Now you would have seen in the last video that we've got the engine out, finally. We've got a lot to do on it. The heads have got to come off, we've got to change the head gasket, and you would have seen in the last video, I'll pin it here, we took the cam covers off, and it might not just be the head gasket that needs doing. So basically, today's video is going to be investigating. We'll just see how it goes. Now one thing you might notice is that the engine looks a lot more stripped down than it should do. And this is because, of course, we thought very bravely that we could take the heads off while the engine was still in the car. So the first thing we're going to do is whip off all 4 of the cam covers, and they come off quite nicely. They're only held in by a few bolts on each side. And then very rudely we got interrupted, but we didn't mind too much. But now back to the engine. We're now taking off the cover that sits in front of the timing belt. And then off screen we've got the engine top dead center, which means that we can take the belt off without worrying about having to time it back up when we put it all back on later down the line. Mechanique. Alright, off comes the belt.
Important.
Maybe not. That was just loose in there.
That's why the engine broke, isn't it?
Probably. It's not a head gasket after all. Right. Belt is marked. Right, belt is marked. Top dead centre. And now we're just going to start working, taking off the 4 timing gears, cam gears, whatever you want to call them. Power tools. Who would have had them, eh? Who would have had them?
That's
That is you being used against me in court one day.
100%. That's making it somewhere.
So the driver's side of the engine, the first 2 cam gears come off, which means we can then take the backing plate, which separates the timing belt from the engine and stops it getting caught or nicked on anything, and basically just wrecking this engine anymore. And now, because we've taken that back cover off of the timing chain, we're then able to remove a tensioner, which means we can then get to the lower intake manifold, and that pops off quite nicely. Now, it wouldn't be a normal day working on this car without a little bit of delusional pep talking from myself.
Nearly. Not nearly. Being ambitious.
I think you said nearly there the first day you got it.
Do you know what? When I bought this car, I've owned this car since October 22, so, no, what is it? I've owned this car since October 24. No, I'll try again.
No.
I've owned this car since October 23. And it is now literally the last day of November. It is November the 30th, and we are... Do you know, they say Rome wasn't built in a day.
This car was already built when you bought it.
It was by a Japanese person who didn't know what they were doing because it blew up. I'm being ambitious. Not ambitious, optimistic. That is the word. Because if I don't, I'll cry myself to sleep tonight. And I don't
You
cry.
do that anyway.
I do. Yeah.
And now back to the engine, we can take off the right side cam gears, and they pop off quite nicely as well.
Let me go.
And then the back plate also just comes straight off. Now to the top of the engine, we can now start taking out the cams. And this is a twin cam engine, so we have 4 of them to take out before we can get to the heads. And the annoying part about this car, alongside the engine not running, is that it's because it's got a blown head gasket, it means the oil and the water has just mixed the whole way through. So everything that we are taking off is absolutely covered and not very nice to work with. But after a little bit of gentle persuasion, we have one of the heads off. And let me just tell you, I nearly cried.
Like that head.
It's like the Japanese were designing this car and went, do you know what this car needs? A built-in coffee machine. So that's what they gave me.
Nice.
Now we've taken the head off and we're just going to have a quick look around just to try and see if we can see any signs of cracking or maybe where the head gasket has blown. But to our surprise, the head that we've taken off doesn't seem to be that bad. So off camera we're taking off all the ancillaries. So the power steering pump, the air condenser and the alternator all come off. And I work my way towards the back of the engine to start taking off the turbos and the downpipes. And this is no easy job, but they have to come off. Now we move over to my side of the engine, and this is where things start to look a little bit dangerous. But first, of course, we're going to whip off both of the cams and then see what we're dealing with. So we finally get the head off, and the first thing I'm greeted with alongside the forbidden coffee is a bolt that's fallen down into the engine.
Well, had to come apart anyway.
Now, what we don't know is that if we've dropped this bolt in ourselves while the engine's been being taken apart and stripped back down, and it's fallen through the spark plug hole, or the car was running with a bolt inside the engine. Now, nothing about this car makes sense, as you're about to find out. We really have no explanation. However, this engine might be beyond saving.
Flipping it. There's a chunk out of that cylinder wall.
So that's number one. Taking off that head and seeing damage like that in the cylinder wall is one of the worst things that you can possibly find. This might just be a brand new engine that we have to find. Because with less than 500 of these in the country, if you have a pristine running engine, you're not going to want to strip it down and sell it for parts. So trying to find a block that isn't in a bad condition itself is going to be near impossible. Or at least that's what I thought. Out of the blue, I got a message from someone on Facebook that went a little bit like this. Now, this was absolutely amazing news. The only problem was, I live just outside of London, and Lancaster is a very, very long way away. But I have no choice. I have people I have to prove wrong. So we're going to Lancaster. So today is the day. 4 hours and 38 minutes of driving. About 280 miles to go. But we are going to get this engine, I hope. I've got to pick up Raf first, and then we'll drive up together. I'm in the work van, which is why the light is terrible. And this video is really grainy. It's pitch black outside. It's also freezing cold, which is not very fun. Let's just put it this way. Whatever engine I end up buying cannot be worse than the one I have currently sat torn apart in the workshop. So there's a positive look for the day, but I will keep you posted.
We'll make some friends along the way.
The rear axle.
Look at this.
Me.
Holy moly.
Hello.
More lads. Lads.
Excuse me, lads, we're coming through, thank you.
Got an engine to buy.
Yep. Okay. In Lancaster for 12. We ain't got nothing on the transit, mate.
Guy has dreams.
Which way? 2.2 diesel, mate, you're laughing. But now what you've all wanted to see, the engine. Is it a worthy replacement, or have I just wasted all day driving this way for an engine that's completely busted? Now I just want to put a quick disclaimer here before we go any further. But once we arrived in Lancaster, we decided that it was probably best for us not to record anything while looking around the engine. And that is of course because the engine is inside someone's private property and we wanted to respect their privacy. However, we did manage to get a few quick videos towards the end as we were loading it up.
You don't say, mate.
Oh, mate, got no money for diesel.
Make sure everything's plugged up, yeah?
It is now.
It is now. Good lad. Right. Get your wallet out, mate. Josh is gonna eat just some dry bread this year. Well, this week.
Noodles.
Pot noodles for the rest of the week.
What is that?
That is the bar that goes.
Mate, where was the handshake? I'm here filming. Wait, 2 minutes off my film. Just I'm waiting for the Josh. Handshake, mate.
There we go.
Awesome. It's a done deal.
I need that.
Thank you for your time, sir. Appreciate it.
Now once we get home, I'll show you the engine closer up and in more detail. But the main thing was we got the engine. And just as we were about to leave, I got the offer of a lifetime.
You don't need another shell. You've got one of these at home already, right?
The old shell for only £100. Now this might just be one of my biggest regrets in life, as you're going to see later on down the line.
Mate, just ditch.
big garage,
I'm telling you, ditch your whole project. Just buy one of his cars, which are running already, repaint it white, claim it as your own. No one's going to know. It's the internet. It's a good idea, isn't it?
And just before we were about to leave, for the second time, something else caught my eye.
Josh, we're not getting the boat, mate.
We're buying the boat.
We're not buying the boat.
Sailing off into the sunset.
HMS Charlton.
But now it was time to get back home. But the good thing about driving all this way is that we actually drove past my good friends at Interrim. So on the way back, we made a quick flying visit just to show them the engine. And this is what they had to say.
Flipping heck. I know why it took you 3 weeks to get out now.
The actual size of it.
Do you know how heavy it is?
400 kilos.
Whoa.
It just looks cool, doesn't it?
That is decent.
It just looks cool.
What are your turbos like?
Apparently they're decent. Run fine. Yeah. But if worst case is, I got the old two from mine.
Good point. Good point.
I got two engines to make a good one.
Yeah. This man.
And in an exclusive fashion just for my viewers, we got to see inside Intertrim's HQ. And this video just teases the insane vehicles that these guys work on.
Oh, just a big chrome engine.
It's a big chrome end.
That's shit. Shit.
Right.
Can I take that? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
That's clean.
Car's the engine. With an 85mm turbo.
Look at the size of the turbo. It's as big as the engine.
What?
My word.
I was like, wow, that's shiny. Look at the size of that.
It's gold. How much does this put? 700 horsepower, you say?
This is going for, he said I'm going for a safe 500.
But if you got this far into the video and you aren't subscribed, please consider giving that button a smash. Because off camera, Joe said if I hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month, he will redo the full interior of my 300 for free. Definitely said that. But anyway, let's go home. So a couple of days later, definitely a couple of days later, engine is here. Cameraman, come closer. This is the first time I've had a cameraman. This is great. Have a look. So, unlike my other engine, there is no air condenser pump, whatever it is called, which should bolt there, is missing. So, over here, we have a pile of good stuff from the old engine. We have turbos and covers and pumps and stuff. But we are in two minds currently as to whether we are going to take the whole air conditioner unit as it is out of the other car so we can make it go faster. We're in two minds whether to take the whole air conditioner unit out as itself or put this one back on and spend loads more money.
I say take it out.
Take it out, make it go faster.
I mean, there's a lot more room.
That's the thing, there's a lot more room, plus where the old ones come out and all these hoses, they've all been pinched or snapped.
Didn't you do that to get it out on the old engine?
No, I set mine on fine. I set mine on fine.
Press X for now.
Yeah, set it on fine. So, that is what we are struggling with, but it probably looks like we're going to take the whole thing out so we can go faster. And we can be more kind to my bank account. Sherlock Holmes and Watson right here. Because I'm Sherlock. Okay, so have a look at this. Okay, so after a bit of digging and scratching our heads, we have realised the reason why this turbo off of my old engine and all the parts here isn't lining up with this one. Because I have an aftermarket exhaust.
Yeah. Different manifolds.
Different manifolds.
downlights.
So, this problem here, with these being snapped, isn't too much of a problem, but we have to put this one on, which means we're going to have to get this bolt out anyway, so that can connect to my downpipes that are already on there, because they're different to a factory standard. When I was picking the engine up as well, I didn't really want to be recording inside his house and basically just recording everything that he has. So we kept it quite minimum. However, we did check all the cylinders. They look fine, I think. They're better than my last one. They ain't smashed to pieces. So they're fine. Now, this doesn't come with any coil packs, so we're gonna have to take the old ones off of my old engine, which were working fine, I believe. So that's fine, they can go in there, I say. The annoying thing about this whole engine is it doesn't have this cover, which on my other one snapped off as well because the bolts were knackered. To buy one of these covers is mega expensive, so we've got to figure out what we're going to do there. However, I was going to twist it, but this weighs a ton. You can buy covers that sit across the top like that, and so you basically just keep the timing belt exposed. So we're probably going to go with that. Now we've got to figure out, basically, we want to get it as lightweight as possible so we can go even faster, which means we're going to take these off because this is going to be a track car, not on the road.
Press X for doubt.
Definitely not on the road, this car.
Definitely.
In the next video, because I'm not doing it now, the EGR is coming off and we're going to delete all the aircon lines. So bigger intercooler, and if for some reason this video gets really famous and I become the new Matt Armstrong, I'll put big turbos on it. So like and subscribe. But that is going to do it for this video. If you have enjoyed watching and you've put up with me rambling on for the last 5 minutes about an engine.
Terrible camera skills.
Nah, your
No,
camera
you
skills
use
are
the
fine.
gimbal for.
This is fine. This is cameraman Joe who's going to help us.
Hello. I'll be here a lot.
Yes, get used to his face. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for this video. If you have enjoyed watching, then please like and subscribe and comment something nice though. Don't comment something. Yeah, I've heard that a few times. But if you have enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next video. Bye. Alright, darling. Pull the handbrake up, take it out of gear, turn the lights off. I slammed on my brakes because it was a red light.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm dead. I'm having an engine on my lap.
On your lap, in your spine, mate.
V6.
In your spine.
Yeah.
Is that why you're so red, mate?
V6 up your bunda. Yeah, have a look.
Is it still a bit shaky?
No, man.
Or is it solid?
I ain't going nowhere. It's like my ex-girlfriend. You look like a wall.